as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. The bleach skin rumor, which is a rumor, I don't bleach my skin.
Welcome to Artist Library. Today we're going to see the truth about Michael Jackson's skin. Watch the whole video and don't forget to subscribe. The most well-known performer in the world in the early and middle of the 1980s was an American named Michael Jackson, who also performed as a dancer and songwriter. His status as the king of pop is still widely recognized today. Even after his death, controversy and intrigue with Michael Jackson's skin and its total transformation continued. Michael Jackson said during his lifetime that he had vitiligo, a long-lasting illness that causes big patches of skin to emerge, and that he used makeup to smooth things out. Years of doubt were finally dispelled when it was revealed in Jackson's autopsy report that he had patches of light and darkly pigmented skin, and that vitiligo was recorded as a diagnosis in his medical history. Conversely, vitiligo rarely progresses to the point where the skin is uniformly toned and completely devoid of any color. Teenage Michael Jackson experienced frequent acne flare-ups while performing and recording with the Jackson 5. Still, he didn't indicate the discoloring skin condition that would affect him later in life. Additionally, there was no sign of any uncommon skin condition when he recorded a single band. But by the time Jackson, at 24 years old, entered the Thriller recording studio, he was beginning to observe strange changes in his skin tone. Jackson made an effort to dispel suspicions that he was whitening his skin to look more Caucasian in a 1993 interview with Oprah Winfrey. Jackson told Winfrey that accusations extremely hurt him and that he was unhappy with his own race, but he withheld the identity of the illness that produced the stark differences in skin tone on his hands. "I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin," said Jackson. "It's something I cannot help. When people make up stories that I don't like who I am, it hurts me," said Jackson. A public that has been speculating and gossiping about Jackson's radically altered appearance for several years reacted to his explanation of why his skin color changed with sympathy and skepticism. Some people, particularly those who share the same disfiguring skin condition, had no doubts about him. Others disputed Jackson's assertion, including his longtime friend and mentor Quincy Jones. Balanced now, many Jackson admirers defend his use of such products, but claiming that they were applied to even out his skin tone once the vitiligo reached an advanced stage, which is probably somewhat true. There isn't much information about the treatments Michael Jackson might have used to preserve his natural appearance in the early stages of his disfiguring sickness. Jackson apparently had systematic lupus erythematosus in addition to the skin element, which, in addition to perhaps being a highly serious condition, can also cause loss of skin pigmentation. The evident and extensive cosmetic procedures he underwent to improve the appearance of his lips, nose, eyelashes only contributed to supporting the idea that he was merely purposely altering his appearance by whitening his skin. Contrary to popular belief, Michael Jackson's skin tone did not gradually lighten as he tried to conceal the disease's visible effects, but in actuality, Jackson's skin tone appeared drastically different over the years, looking lighter on stage and during press photos than in pictures from his private life, leading many to wonder how much of his lighter appearance was due to his illness. Or was it Michael Jackson's choice for himself, at least in part? Jackson's personal dermatologist, Arnold Klein, had spotted vitiligo indications on the singer's hands and body 10 years before the singer's open conversation with Winfrey. Although hundreds of people are diagnosed with vitiligo each year, the self-proclaimed king of pop may be the most well-known person to have made their disease public. According to medical professionals at the University of Massachusetts Vitiligo Clinic and Research Center, Jackson was adept at hiding his vitiligo, and he probably used Benequin, a prescription depigmenting lotion, to treat the unsightly illness. The notorious physician Conrad Murray, who served 2 years of a 4-year sentence for his role in Michael Jackson's death, acknowledged using the bleaching cream in the singer's body every night. Jackson's once chocolate brown complexion was startlingly white when he passed away in 2009. CNN described Jackson's body as lily white from head to toe and having skin that was as white as a t-shirt shortly after his passing. However, as Michael Jackson grew older and more self-conscious, his skin started to dominate his thoughts. Michael frequently couldn't bear to look at the mirror due to his teenage acne. In his book, Brother Jermaine states that he disliked his skin and nose so severely that it was difficult for him to look in the mirror. This wasn't just the ordinary self-consciousness of adolescence. It developed into a full-fledged inferiority complex. He felt more unhappy the more he observed himself. Like many teenagers, Michael experimented with a ton of skincare products to help his skin clear up and lighten the scars left behind. Jermaine Jackson also disclosed that it was at this time that he and Michael Jackson began using skin bleaching creams to balance out their skin tones and treat hyperpigmentation brought on by acne scarring rather than to lighten their complexions. Michael never bleached his face or complexion, and according to Jermaine, he was pleased to be black. Jermaine also became aware of a white spot in his left leg when he was a teenager. A doctor told Jermaine that it was vitiligo and not to be concerned unless it spread. Because vitiligo can only be inherited genetically, it is important to consider when Michael first developed the condition. Michael Jackson's expression showed a hint of irritation throughout the glamorous event. When the cheeks, chin, and forehead were lighter in comparison, the area surrounding the eyes, nose, and hairline appeared deeper. The use of harsh topicals to stop acne outbreaks or bleaching treatments to treat hyperpigmentation and lighten the skin may have contributed to this. In 1983 and 1984, Michael Jackson made several public appearances with what appeared to be flushed red cheeks. Many people have suggested that Michael's previously undiagnosed lupus condition was the cause of these rashes, but after learning more about the types of rashes that result from lupus, which usually leave much more severe scarring, I believe Michael's distended cheeks are more likely a reaction to harsh topical products. Michael's skin looked lighter and ashier throughout this time. This can have resulted from the use of bleaching treatments, which can leave a tint of grayish skin, or the inferior foundation maker products that were then readily available for darker skin tones and frequently had a similar effect. On the other hand, Michael Jackson appears significantly lighter during Jackson's victory tour in the second half of 1984. This was largely because, in contrast to the stage makeup his brothers used, he would wear a paler shade of beige throughout the performance. According to others, Michael may have started wearing lighter cosmetics to hide the earliest signs of his vitiligo. However, images of Jackson without makeup show that there were no blemishes on his face at this time. Instead, Michael likely covered up the redness, scars, and acne that persisted on his skin between 1985 and 1986 with lighter cosmetics to match his lightened complexion. In the few public appearances Michael Jackson made during this time, he seemed to be getting lighter. Longtime producer Quincy Jones later said that he protested to Michael about his frequent skin peels while recording the bad LP because he thought they were intended to lighten Jackson's skin rather than address any ailment he could have had. Dr. Christopher Rogers observed that Jackson's body at the Ronald Reagan Medical Center in Los Angeles had some sections of the skin appear light and others appear black, which were compatible with vitiligo. The non-contagious disease vitiligo results in the malfunction or death of pigment cells, according to the Mayo Clinic. Vitiligo is not life-threatening, but it can be quite embarrassing for those who have it. Embarrassing allegations claim that Jackson was purposefully changing his skin tone in this situation. In the end, it was discovered that the King of Pop had been speaking the truth about his skin condition the entire time. Additionally, he had a black tattoo on the front of his head, presumably to match the wigs he wore and his hairline. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up and also make sure you subscribe to our channel Artist Library for more videos like this.